Hello, welcome to another video. And I was thinking, I don't know if loot boxes were necessarily as bad as they were perceived. And don't get me wrong, don't click off of this because you think I'm just going to be a contrarian and rave about loot boxes and how they're actually good and everything. It's more, I want to talk about why loot boxes kind of turned into being the absolute fucking terrible thing that they turned into, and currently why we're kind of in this position, specifically for Call of Duty, I will say. So if you watch this, you think my ideas are stupid or I'm wrong or whatever, let me know in the comments. I very well could be wrong. I'm just one person with a couple ideas that saw something on Twitter that talked about loot boxes a little bit, and I thought about it and I was like, you know what? I don't think they were as bad as people look back and think about it. So, basically, the big reason why we're at this point of Call of Duty and a lot of gaming is that monetization has gone absolutely crazy in video games. It has literally just been ramping up and up and up, and the industry has just kind of like fed into itself with free-to-play games with a battle pass plus a store. So how we're kind of now with Call of Duty, it's gotten to the point where they have pretty much gone too far, and that's what always typically happens with video game companies monetizing in different ways, and then someone comes up with an innovative way to make money, and the whole industry looks at it and says, holy shit, let's do that and make a lot of money. So then everyone follows suit, and then it's pretty much wide standard. And then these companies get more greedy and do things that push the boundaries until they go too far, like loot boxes and Battlefront 2. If you don't know what happened with that, Star Wars Battlefront 2, the loot box system in that game was so egregious and pay to win that it was pay to win while being loot boxes, making it random. Absolutely terrible. But so in Call of Duty specifically, the store is now, It's getting fucking crazy if we're being honest. The Black Cell bundle battle pass is a new type of thing, which feels kind of weird that it's taken this long in the battle pass era to have like a premium battle pass, where it was always, there was the free battle pass where every like 5-ish tiers you'd get something free, and then if you bought the battle pass you get everything in the tier. And now with Black Cell, it's you buy the battle pass, you get everything, but if you buy the Black Cell one, you get everything, the battle pass, plus these extra things on top of it, and you pay more. That was the first big thing Call of Duty has done recently, where people have wholeheartedly been like, what the fuck is wrong with you, you know? And the craziest thing to me with the whole storefront is just how fucking expensive a lot of this stuff is. Featured things, the very first thing that pops up is Deepwater 2. It's a skin with 2 weapon variants. And if you look at how much 2,000 COD points are, I'm Canadian, so mind you, this is Canadian prices. It's over $20. That's fucking crazy if you think about what you're getting for how much you're spending. You literally paid, in Canada, it's $79.99 before tax, so it's about $90 with taxes in Canada. Yeah, I'm Canadian, that's how it works. For the game, I couldn't imagine spending like almost a third of that on like 5 items, cosmetic items. Like, it's literally crazy. These micro transactions, the literal word micro is in it, meaning it should be like how it started with being like $4 for a couple, like in camo and shit like that, how it was with Call of Duty like 10 years ago now. If you weren't there, there was, in Call of Duty Ghosts, there's like Snoop Dogg bundles and stuff, and you could get Snoop Dogg's voiceover, and it was like $4.99 or something like that. I think it was less than $10. I'm like 100% sure of that. And if you buy it, that's nothing. Please go right ahead. It's your choice. It's your, obviously I'm not going to tell you how to do it, but they're being like, the whole industry in Call of Duty is being so greedy with the fact of pushing the boundaries of how much they can charge for certain things. Yes, I'm sure some of these things take a long time to make. I don't think making it cost all of a sudden a premium amount when it wasn't beforehand, and having less people probably buy it than it did before. You know, I don't know. It feels so weird. This all really came full circle recently. That was a big doo-doo on Activision, was that some items were having DMZ benefits in the actual bundle you're buying. You'd get like an extra armor slot or a inventory slot or life, or it was some, I forget. I don't play DMZ, so I didn't really look into it that much or remember it. Adding these things is a part of pay to win, which makes it all the worse for Call of Duty, because Call of Duty isn't a free-to-play game where you can get people to pay for these microtransactions in a lot of times because you didn't put anything up front for the game. The fact that they're getting you to buy the whole game and then hitting you on the ass as you're walking in the fucking door saying, yeah, here's another couple price tags you're going to be fucking spending on, which is just absurd. And at first, it was fine. It would be the little cosmetic stuff that cost micro amounts because they were microtransactions, and now it's grown to the point that fucking allergies. It's gone to the point where they've pushed the boundary for the pricing way too much. If you wholeheartedly disagree with that, I just think the thing should cost less. And I meant to really say this going into this video. This isn't gonna be a full deep dive, like full breakdown of everything in the past and this and everything. This is just me like spitballing ideas and like why the store now is just, it's gone too far by far. I don't think anyone really disagrees with that. And I say all that to get back to loot boxes, where I intro said, were loot boxes actually that bad? Were they actually maybe good? And when loot boxes first came into the gaming industry, they were not instantly seen as this horrible, terrible thing because they were treated how they should have been, which is typically what happens with a cycle of microtransactions in video games. It starts off innocent and, you know, not greedy, and, you know, everyone feels pretty good about it. And then the publisher, Activision, or whoever, sees how much they're making now and think to themselves, how much more could we make? And that's when the greedy behavior comes in and everyone ends up getting fucked over. I can't play while I'm fucking talking. The big thing with loot boxes that really changed how people perceive them was that typically they were earned in-game, which obviously there's nothing wrong with that. No one gets hurt. You're not spending money to randomly gamble on certain things. And then the ability to purchase them obviously led to some issues, and then hiding specific content behind them was what literally turned loot boxes into the death trap of having them in your game that it is now. If you do those certain practices, pretty much they made you pay money to buy them to randomly get a chance at getting a brand new content. So like in Call of Duty, if it was like a new gun that was a DLC gun, but the only way you can unlock it is through a loot box. Like, that's fucking insane. Even if you earn them in-game, you're still rolling the dice every time, and you're leading people to want to buy these fucking lottery ticket things to get the new content, where they should just be able to just purchase the new content, how it always was beforehand. And they added randomness, which everyone said that's fucked up, and eventually loot boxes have fizzled out because companies got too far with them. And now my saying with loot boxes not being as bad is more so the beginning part. And there were some games I'm pretty sure that did them pretty well. The two that I can think of is Apex Legends with the little, you know, you get 3 things at the end of match, or Apex packs, whatever it was. I haven't played Apex in a while. I couldn't tell you yes or no if you could buy them with their currency. I would imagine you probably could. And it was strictly just cosmetics from what I can remember. It might have changed and they might have pay to win shit in there, which obviously that's bad, but to my knowledge, I can't think of that. The other one is Overwatch 1. The first Overwatch, they had loot boxes the whole time. Everyone said it was the perfect loot box system, while loot boxes literally went down the fucking depths of hell. Thank you, Battlefront 2. And that being, you earned them pretty much after every game you played, and it was always only cosmetics. And there was a bunch of there were so many cosmetics because there were so many heroes in the game and everything that it worked out perfectly. Like, it was a good, perfect storm for how it should work. And then obviously Overwatch 2 came out and they kind of shit the bed because they could have handled that way better. And that's a funny example though of how they're seeing how these other companies are making money off of this, so let's try and join the trend of the gaming industry and go free to play, have a store, and monetize the shit out of it. Halo Infinite, everyone shit on their store. There's like, it's crazy that every single game gets shit on about their store. Everything that has a store, eventually they get too fucking greedy. Eventually the prices are insane for what you're getting. And eventually they put in pay to win, and then still, we're currently on the cusp of people so fucking, like, it feels like the store, or this model, is on the cusp of, like, being gone, potentially. I doubt it, because it's hard, because it's not, you can't say it's gambling, because you're upfront paying for what you are getting. And one game I can think of that has had loot boxes that are paid loot boxes, CSGO has had crates in the game, I don't know, a very long time. People have not came at their fucking neck about getting rid of them because they are purchased and it's completely random and it is all cosmetics. But the difference there is that there's an economy system where you can actually get rewarded for potentially getting certain things. You know, there's a monetary value behind the skins you're getting. You could actually, like, get yourself. Not just, oh, I bought a 2400 COD point cosmetic, now I have it, and I have it. That's my thoughts with loot boxes in general, is that it was fine. It was a decent system. Sometimes, was it annoying? Absolutely. And yeah, it's nice seeing what you're buying, but Call of Duty uses certain ways to fuck you over without you even knowing. And I would talk about something in the very next part of this video, next cut probably, of how I think going forward monetization should go in Call of Duty and other sort of gaming industry that is best for us. So probably never going to happen because it probably won't make companies enough money. So I'm sorry to be kind of like a clickbait type of thing with this, but I've been sitting here editing this video and I realized I rambled on about this very long, and I figured I didn't want to have a video that was like 30-ish minutes long, so I decided to cut this in half. So today's video is just going to be basically what I explained, all the problems and stuff with loot boxes and the current state that we are in with Call of Duty and many other games that we're in with loot boxes and Call of Duty and stores with a lot of other games, and how it's been real shit recently. And the second half of my big recording is basically my potential solutions and my perfect world, or my idea of how it could be better, in my opinion, will be on Wednesday. I'll be in the same clothes and I'll sound the exact same and everything will be the same because I literally just cut it in half because I didn't want a huge video and make everyone sit there and watch through that whole thing because they'd probably get bored eventually. So I figured might as well make it into two, hopefully get more people interested. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like if you enjoyed. Leave a comment on if you think I'm crazy or if some things you don't agree with and what you think might be actual problems, and if loot boxes actually are. I mean, I do think they turned into the worst fucking thing ever, but let me know what you think also. And yeah, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to check out the next one. I talk about what I think could be better. But thank you so much for watching. Peace out.